Hi there. My name's Amanda Walsh, and I'm the founder of Astrology Hub.
And I'm astrologer Stormie Grace.
And we are here together for your weekly forecast for the week beginning on August 19th. All right, Miss Stormie Grace, tell us what we should be paying attention to this week. What is the major theme?
The major theme with a Venus-Mars conjunction and also two other planets coming into Virgo. The theme of the week is Virgo, okay? It's health, it's service to others, integrity, refinement, practicality. If it's got Virgo on it, that's what we're doing this week.
All right, so all things Virgo. Let's see how that looks and plays out. Can you tell us a little bit about the week ahead?
Absolutely. So coming into this week, Monday and Tuesday, we have Mars who moved into Virgo last week and encouraging our action to be a bit more service oriented, right? It's less boisterous than our Mars and Leo energies were. But what this energy is perfect for is for finishing up those kind of daunting tasks, the daily minutia that just needs to get done, right? With Mars and Virgo, you're going to get those things handled. You're going to get them done with speed, Mars, and efficiency, Virgo. So if you've got things that you've been hanging out, just get it done this week. You've got a lot of help. So, Amanda, what do you need to finish?
Oh, wow. My God. I'm like, as you're asking that question or you're talking about the beginning of the week, it's like a list is forming in my head. And that is actually what I'm thinking would be really helpful for everybody is to make a list of those outstanding items, those things that you just haven't gotten around to doing. It sounds like we're going to have a lot of supportive energy for getting them done. So it might just be helpful to hit the ground running and have your list ready and be like, okay, I'm going to knock these things out. I know for me, it's always things like, I'm always finishing things for the business, right? But those things are like easier for me. It's more finishing things for like my kids' beginning of school, paperwork or even tax stuff or things around the house. Those are the things that I just they stay on the list for so long. So I think that those are the kinds of things that will be on my list for sure. How about you?
Well, you said make a list. So I know that every Virgo is just so excited right now. So I will probably need to make a list, right? And I think about this, Virgo is my ascending energy. So I've got to finish up some imaging things that I just haven't been able to get to. It's a very external energy for me. So finishing up what you guys can see in public will definitely have adjustments by the end of this week.
All right, everybody. So we're going to hit the ground running and get a lot of stuff done in the beginning of the week. Let's talk about Wednesday. How are things shifting towards Wednesday?
Absolutely. So Wednesday is when we have Venus entering into the energy of Virgo. So it's like yet another energy moving over into here. Now, one thing to keep in mind is that Venus is actually in detriment in the energy of Virgo. She's not very comfortable over here, okay? Because Venus likes to be a little bit flighty and a little bit just like, willy-nilly and I love you and, just letting it be loose. And Virgo is like, tighten it up. Nope, we're not doing it like that. That is inefficient, Virgo or Venus, So what happens though that we can make very good use of this energy is that we're going to get to the nitty-gritty of what's working in our finances, what's working in our relationships. Questions to guide you with that. Are you getting what you need and deserve in your relationships? And I'm not just talking romantic relationships. In your relationships, are you getting what you need and what you deserve? Are there red flags that need to be addressed? Because you know what? That flag is really not maroon. It's actually just red, so maybe we need to address that. On the exact same day, we've got Mercury trining Jupiter, and this is wonderfully optimistic, and this can have us feeling very productive. But with Venus and Virgo, it also gives this energy of really wanting to help others at a different level than I think we've been able to tap into for most of the year. So in this idea of service, what I think of is maybe making the adjustments and getting to the truth of how efficient or healthy our relationships are. This is actually a level of service to all of our relationships.
That can be so true. When you get to that point where you put aside your fear of what might happen if you bring up the thing you need, you actually enable another version of the relationship to come through. You enable another version of the person that you're engaging with to have an opportunity to come through. So yeah, I can see how it would be something that you can view as service, And it often requires a lot of courage to state our needs clearly and lovingly. And so that, think of it this way, that courage that you're mustering up to have that conversation or address that quote unquote red flag is of service, not only to yourself, but to the other person. In the end, it might not be totally obvious right in the beginning, but eventually that is a service to the other person as well.
Absolutely. My husband and I were having a conversation, and he's been saying for the last couple of weeks, I'll say, how are you? And he says, oh, I'm good, but I'm really tired. And so it's been a couple of weeks of that. And we ended up having a conversation where I said, I love you, but we're 37 years old, and tired every day cannot be the answer. What needs to be adjusted here? And this week is when we're supposed to sit down and take a look at, what do we need to adjust here? We got to get to the nitty gritty. It's the truth of, this is inefficient or unhealthy. So what can we adjust to bring that integrity up, right? Virgo's perfecting this area for us.
Wow. Okay. That's a big call. All right. So how about Thursday?
Thursday is lovely. I think you get to take a nice deep breath. We're going to follow the moon as it moves through Taurus. We have intuition, and it's paired with some delicious determination. We're facing the challenges, the responsibilities in much more of an organized way. And the moon is interesting because it spends the day making connections with Saturn, Mercury, Neptune, Pluto before the end of the day. So we're going through a lot of phases of just kind of meeting our responsibilities with this high level intuition. So it's a nice day to kind of even watch how you move. You know, from the beginning of the week to just Thursday, how do you feel about how you're moving and how you're showing up in your world? How do you feel in your body? I think that's a great question to be looking at that day. Now, as we jump in and we start moving throughout the weekend, we can feel driven by this intense need to take care of practical matters, get organized, take care of people. It's just a high Virgo weekend. We've already got Venus and Mars over here. Now we've got the sun coming into Virgo. So happy birthday, Virgos. And we've also got Mercury direct. So Virgo's ruling planet is on top of things. So the ability to take care of daily tasks or daily communications will be less stressful, and we'll kind of feel geared towards them, right? Like you are on par and you have the power to successfully tackle the details of things, which sometimes that's just where it's at, right? It's like in the details. And as we roll into Saturday, we've got a Venus and Mars conjunction. And this is the only time they're going to conjunct this year in Virgo. So when the lovers meet, it's always great. They chase each other around the zodiac all the time. So when they get to meet each other, it's like, hello, you know? So getting together with friends, having friends over, maybe you're doing a group project or you're caring for someone, something like that. The details of planning an event or something like that may actually seem fun or enjoyable or exciting to you. Just be sure with all this high Virgo energy going on, don't be too critical of yourself or others, okay? Now, as we end this week on Sunday, the sun's over here in Virgo and everybody else is over here as well, but the sun is going to be in a sextile to the moon in Cancer. Now, when the planets have sex, that's good for us. So this creates an incredibly good vibe for teamwork. You'll feel supported in the things that you're doing. Now, this energy does not last long. So if you've got something you feel like you need a lot of support or a lot of movement with at the end of the week, use it and use it well. Finish out your week really strong.
Stormie, you weren't kidding when you said this week had tons of Virgo energy. It's like, wow, are you serious? I mean, I think every single day you went through, there was a major focus on Virgo. So I would love if we could just spend a little bit of time for people on that archetype of Virgo. You know, what is Virgo in its like highest expression? And then what is more of the shadow side of Virgo? What things should we be aware of, you know, energies we might not want to be expressing as much throughout this week?
So Virgo energy it wants healthy, it wants high integrity, right? It's analyzing what's happening to make sure that we can have the very best of the best. And Virgos, if you know any of them, they have got such good hearts because they really do care about taking care of other people, being of service or doing things that are of service of other people. So when we look at a Virgo and just full shining expression, right? There are organizers, there are taking care of it so that we can all be our very best, right? They're making lists, right? They are doing these things that keep us on track. Now, when we see Virgos and they're struggling or that energy is at a lower expression, they are very nitpicky. They just cannot have a break from reality, right? It's like if it's not going according to their plan, they are struggling. So if you know a Virgo who is just really struggling because life is not meeting the plan, give them some love, right? They're just struggling a little bit. But when you see a Virgo as well who is sick and really unhealthy or not eating well or not taking care of their bodies, these are very low expressions for Virgos typically, because that's a big priority for them.
Well, would you say that that could be the result too of like too much, instead of service, that shadow of that being like self-sacrifice and putting everybody else before them, and so then ending up sick and unhealthy? And would you say that that could be true?
Yeah, I would definitely say that, because one thing about Virgo energy that I do think is kind of a fallback as well is that Virgos, in their seeking of perfection, they also want things to look perfect. And sometimes in order to make it look perfect, we're sacrificing it on the inside, but it looks so good on the outside, or vice versa. When it gets into a real state of detriment, that's usually when you can see Virgos kind of letting their body go a lot more. But definitely in an effort to make it look good, there can be some downfall happening on the other side.
Wow. Okay. So pay attention to that in your life this week, you guys. It's not just for people who are Virgo, since we're going to be experiencing a lot of Virgo energy. I love to think of it in terms of the cosmic curriculum and the spotlight being in that Virgo area of life this week. So where are you in that high level of service and integrity? And, the divine is perfect. So that perfect vision that you're seeing is real. And where are you sacrificing the inside for that external, the appearance of perfection, I guess? And so some of the biggest takeaways that I took for this week, Stormie, are, again, all things Virgo. So remember service and efficiency. Look at your life and see where you have opportunities to step into greater levels of service, greater levels of efficiency, and how you actually do what you do. Also, just think about what service actually is. What does service mean to you? What does service look like? I think so many times we hear that word service and it sounds grueling and it sounds or maybe not. Maybe that's just me. Oh my God, that might be a revealing statement. But growing up, I grew up in such a Catholic environment, and it was like service was this like serious, heavy, burdensome thing. It didn't sound fun and it didn't sound light at all. So, maybe just evaluate your relationship with service and how you can bring joy into the service that you are doing. Also, this is going to be a big week for addressing some red flags in your relationships, with your health. So pay attention to those, and this could be a really good time to start addressing them with compassion and with love. And then watch for any tendency to go towards criticism and that real nitpicky kind of negative energy that really doesn't serve you or anybody else. If you're finding yourself being really self-critical, which I'm sure some of you Virgos can relate with, that is an opportunity to really watch that inner critic and that inner voice throughout the week. Stormie, is there anything that you would want to add to that summary?
I think that's a beautiful summary. And, help yourself out this week, everybody. Grab your chart. Where is the Virgo energy falling for you? Because you'll know where you need to work, where you need to look. That's the beauty of astrology. It's not willy-nilly out there. The energies are pointing to a specific area in your chart. Look there and see where you can bring up the efficiency and the integrity. And you've got a little roadmap right at your fingertips. And if you've got some criticism coming up or you get some feedback, be quick to see where it's true. Because when it's really the truth, the first thing that happens for me is I get irritated, and then I'm like, oh, wait a minute, that might be kind of true, right? Because this is just it's not a willy-nilly kind of energy. Virgo's here to bring the integrity of this area of your life to another level.
Stormie, for those who are thinking, I don't know how to see where Virgo energy falls in my chart, can you give a quick what they're looking for?
Oh yeah, absolutely. You can run a free chart, you can buy a chart, whatever it is that you need to do, but you're looking at whatever house is ruled by Virgo energy in your chart. That's what you want to look for. So for me, Virgo is in my first house in my ascending energy, so that's where I will see it. For some people, it will be in other areas. So that's what you're looking for. And if you still need help, if that seems crazy and doesn't make sense, I have a video on my YouTube channel on how to address the transits in your chart.
Very nice. Okay, Stormie, that's awesome. Thank you so much. Okay, everybody, thank you very much for being with us here today. It's been wonderful to share this space with you. Enjoy all this Virgo energy this week. And I just wanted to take a moment to let you know about a very exciting new segment of the podcast that we're going to be adding starting in September. Stormie is going to be taking questions from you, from our audience, and addressing them live on the show. So if you have questions about relationships or your health or your finances or your career or your purpose or anything, you will have an opportunity to submit those questions to us via our website, and we will be selecting people to actually have those questions answered during the show. So we'll have our regular forecast on Mondays, and then this will be a new segment that we're adding beginning in September. We do not have the capability for you to submit your questions yet, but it is coming. The month of September will be focused on Inner Circle members. We've been gathering their questions and answering their questions, but very soon it will be opened up to everybody, whether you're an Inner Circle member or not. So watch for that and be thinking about a question that you would love to have addressed by Stormie, our astrologer, and we'll have a lot of fun talking with you. All right, everybody, thank you very much for tuning in. Thank you very much for being a part of our community. And thank you, as always, for making astrology a part of your life. We'll catch you on the next episode. Love our forecasts? Get even more detailed information on what's to come when you subscribe to Astrology Hub's new and full moon updates. Just go to astrologyhub.com/podcast and subscribe to our newsletter today. That's astrologyhub.com/podcast.
Hi, this is Chris Kaplan, the producer of the Astrology Hub podcast. This episode is over, but check the show notes for links to products and services you've heard about during this episode. And if you enjoyed our show, please subscribe and rate using the subscribe button wherever you listen to your podcasts.